What if every barrier you've ever faced was nothing but smoke, an illusion waiting to dissolve? Imagine living in a world where the impossible bends to your will. Tonight, you'll unlock the secret path. This is the Reality Shift Protocol. Since the first spark of human thought, seekers have whispered of a hidden code, the key to bending reality itself. Some called it divine providence, others fate, and a few daring souls understood it as pure consciousness shaping matter. The truth is simpler, yet infinitely more profound. Reality is not fixed. It is fluid, pliable, and waiting for your command. The Reality Shift Protocol. Master this and nothing will ever be impossible is not a story of magic in the distant past, nor miracles reserved for saints. It is a living, breathing system, accessible to you here and now. Within these words lies a blueprint, one practiced quietly by mystics, innovators, and visionaries across time. They knew the world is not as solid as it seems. Every thought, every belief, every intention sends ripples into the fabric of existence, weaving the very circumstances you call life. Most people drift, unaware of this quiet dance. They sleepwalk through a reality designed by old fears and outdated patterns. But a few awaken to the secret. A few learn that with precision, devotion, and faith, they can shift the hidden architecture of existence itself. This audiobook is your initiation, a guide to mastering the invisible levers of reality. Each chapter unveils a principle, a practice, a ritual for aligning your inner world with the life you dream to live. You will discover that impossibility is nothing but an outdated myth, discarded once you remember your true creative power. Prepare yourself. This is not entertainment. This is transformation. If you master what follows, your life will no longer happen to you. It will unfold through you. Chapter 1. The Illusion of Fixed Reality. Long before walls and cities, before the written word etched itself into stone, humanity stared into the vast night sky and wondered, what is real? Stars shimmered, the moon shifted shape, shadows stretched and shrank with the sun's arc. Even then, wise ones noticed, reality moves. Yet somewhere along the way, a lie was whispered into the hearts of people. A lie that the world is unchanging, unbending, set in stone. This is the greatest illusion, that reality is fixed, that what you see is all there is, that circumstances are as immovable as mountains and your destiny is bound by the soil you stand on. But look closer. A mountain itself is not solid. Its rocks crumble to dust. Its slopes shift with time. Water carves valleys through its heart. Even the mountain is in motion, and so is your life. What you call reality is no more than a temporary arrangement of energy, a canvas that reshapes itself endlessly, guided by the invisible brush of consciousness. Consider the story of Kael, a stonemason born into poverty in a weathered village. His father told him daily, "Stone does not change. It is hard, it is heavy, and it defines us." Kael accepted this as truth. His days were spent cutting, shaping, carrying rock. He saw himself as no different, hard, heavy, limited, until one day, while chiseling a slab for the village temple, Kael tapped it gently and watched as a crack spread like lightning across the surface. With a single touch, stone shifted. It shattered, revealing weakness within strength. That evening, Kael sat staring at the fractured rock, realizing his father's words were wrong. Stone is not eternal. Reality is not absolute. If even stone can be reshaped, then so could he. From that night, Kael began to imagine himself differently. He whispered into the darkness, "I am more than this." Within years, he was no longer a mason. He became an architect, designing temples that touched the heavens. His world shifted the moment he realized solidity was illusion. Reality is a mirror of mind. What you see outside bends to what you accept within. Yet most walk through life convinced that the mirror is a wall, unchanging and immovable. They fight against circumstance as though it were iron, but iron rusts, walls crumble. All things are malleable to the one who remembers the truth. You are the dreamer, and life is the dream. O dream, your senses deceive you. They whisper, this is all there is. But modern science confirms what mystics always knew. Everything is vibration. What you call solid is space filled with energy dancing. The chair you sit on is 99% empty space. It's particles in constant motion. Your very body is a constellation of atoms flickering in and out of existence. And if matter itself is this fluid, then what of your life? Can poverty truly bind you? Can failure truly define you? Only if you believe the illusion. Only if you forget that the canvas is never dry. It waits for your brushstroke. Tonight, remember Kael and his stone. Remember that every reality is temporary, waiting to be reshaped. Begin by whispering into your own night, what I see is not final, what I live is not fixed. I am the sculptor of the stone, the dreamer of the dream. And so the illusion begins to crack, the rigid world bends, a new reality prepares to be born. Chapter 2. The Quantum Canvas of Existence. Imagine standing before a vast canvas stretched wider than horizons, taller than skies. This canvas is not blank. It shimmers with countless colors, countless shapes, infinite layers upon layers of possibility. Every thought you think, every belief you hold, every feeling that pulses through your body paints upon this canvas. This is the quantum field, the living backdrop of existence. The ancients whispered of it as the void, the source, the all. Modern physicists glimpse it through equations, calling it the field of infinite probabilities. But its essence is simple. Reality is not a single path. It is an infinite web of paths, and your mind is the brush that selects which stroke becomes real. Consider the story of Alara, a woman who tended sheep in a valley where winters were harsh. Her family told her, this is your life, to herd, to suffer, to endure. But Alara carried a strange knowing. At night she would dream of fields she had never seen, gardens overflowing, voices of strangers calling her name with respect. Were these fantasies? No, they were glimpses of alternate strokes on the canvas, possibilities her soul longed to paint. One night, under a sky burning with stars, Alara closed her eyes and whispered, I choose another life. In that moment, something shifted. She began studying by candlelight, listening to traveling scholars, planting not just seeds in the soil, but visions in her mind. Within years, she left the valley, became a healer known across lands. What her family thought impossible was simply a path they never painted. The canvas responds to choice. Every decision, no matter how small, bends the probability stream. The loaf of bread you buy, the word you speak, the belief you carry, all ripple outward, rearranging patterns unseen. You are never trapped unless you refuse to lift the brush. Close your eyes tonight and imagine your own canvas. See before you thousands of threads of possibility, shimmering like golden cords. Which one glows with resonance? Which one stirs your heart? Reach for it with your mind. Whisper to the canvas, I choose this path. I paint this life. And know this, the canvas listens. It bends. It rearranges. For you are not a prisoner of fate. You are the artist of infinity. Chapter 3. Thought as the first act of creation. Every cathedral, every song, every invention began as a thought. Before stone was laid, before melody was sung, before gears turned, there was thought. Invisible, fleeting, yet powerful enough to birth empires. Your thoughts are not idle whispers. They are seeds cast into the fertile field of existence. Each carries within it the potential to blossom into form, but most scatter carelessly, planted in soil of fear, watered by doubt, and harvested as limitation. Few recognize that thought is the first sacred act of creation. There was once a merchant named Darius, weighed down by failure. His business collapsed. His name carried whispers of shame. Each night he thought only of loss, replaying scenes of despair. And so his reality mirrored him faithfully. Doors closed, debts mounted, hope dwindled. Until one evening, broken, he stumbled into the words of a passing sage. Guard your thoughts, for they write tomorrow's script. That night, Darius lay awake and dared a new experiment. He whispered not of loss, but of abundance, not of failure, but of renewal. He envisioned a market where his goods were cherished, where customers smiled, where coins flowed easily into his hands. Night after night, he practiced. At first, nothing shifted, but then small signs. A friend offered a partnership, a forgotten debt was repaid, a new customer arrived. Within a year, Darius thrived once more. His fortune was not rebuilt by chance, but by the careful planting of new thoughts. This is your power. Each thought is energy. Each thought sends ripples into the quantum canvas, and when repeated with conviction, thought carves grooves into your subconscious, directing your life like water following a channel. So tonight, become the gardener of your mind. Speak 3 thoughts you wish to see bloom, plant them with care, water them with belief, then release them into the fertile night, trusting that they will take root. For every reality begins the same way, with thought. And your next thought may be the first brushstroke of an entirely new life. Chapter 4. The Subconscious, Keeper of the Codes. Beneath the chatter of your conscious mind, beneath the lists, the worries, the voices that never seem to rest, there lies a vast ocean. This ocean does not sleep. It remembers, it records, it shapes. This is your subconscious, the silent keeper of the codes that govern your reality. Most people never meet this hidden power. They mistake its silence for weakness, its invisibility for irrelevance. Yet it is here in this vast chamber beneath thought where your life is truly designed. The subconscious does not argue, it does not judge, it does not question. It simply receives impressions and executes them with absolute loyalty. Whatever you allow to sink into its waters becomes the architecture of your world. Consider the story of Helena, a woman born to a family of fishermen. Her father often told her, "The sea is cruel, life is struggle, we are destined for scarcity." Though she never wanted to believe him, his words echoed in her mind each night, finding their way into her subconscious. And so her life mirrored this program. No matter how hard she worked, she lost her nets, her savings vanished, her health faltered. She fought against the tide, not realizing she was carrying the code within her all along. But one evening, as the moonlight painted the sea, she encountered an old traveler who whispered a single truth. Your subconscious does not know the difference between truth and story. Feed it a new story, and it will make it real. That night, Helena dared to try. Instead of repeating her father's words, she created her own. The sea is generous. Life flows with abundance. I am worthy of wealth. At first it felt hollow, like tossing pebbles into a vast ocean, but she persisted. Night after night she whispered new codes into her mind as she drifted to sleep. Within a year the tide turned. Her nets returned full, her health bloomed, and opportunities flowed to her from unexpected places. Helena discovered the secret. The subconscious had always been her ally. It was never cruel, it was simply obedient. Your life reflects not your conscious wishes, but the programs written into your subconscious. It is the soil of your existence. Plant fear, and fear blossoms. Plant love, and love takes root. Plant abundance, and abundance grows. The question is not whether the soil works. It always works. The question is, What are you planting? To rewrite your subconscious is to rewrite your life. Begin each night as Helena did. Speak aloud 3 new codes, 3 new truths you want etched into your inner world. Whisper them as though speaking to a trusted friend. I am worthy. I am powerful. I am free. Let these words descend past the chatter of your waking mind into the fertile depth of your sleeping one. Over time, the subconscious accepts them as reality, and once it does, the outer world must follow. For the keeper of the codes is also the keeper of your destiny. Chapter 5. Shattering the Myth of Limitation. From the time you could walk, voices whispered around you, "You can't do this, that is impossible, this is the way life is." These voices, often spoken by parents, teachers, elders, were not born of malice but of blindness. They believed in the myth of limitation, and so they passed it on like a family heirloom, wrapping your potential in invisible chains. But limitation is not truth. It is agreement, a spell cast by collective belief. There was once a man named Lucien, born with weak legs. His family told him he would never walk beyond his crutches. His teachers pitied him, insisting he accept a life of restriction. For years, Lucien believed them. His world was small, his horizon close, until one night, reading by candlelight, he stumbled upon the words of a philosopher. What you accept as impossible is nothing but the shape of your cage. Lucien could not shake this idea. A cage. Was his body truly a cage, or had he accepted a lie? The next morning he stood longer than before. Days later he attempted steps. Pain screamed through him, but his vision screamed louder. "I am not my cage," he whispered. Weeks turned to months, months to years, and the boy, once bound by crutches, became a man who ran across fields, not because the world changed, but because he shattered the myth. Your limitations are not mountains, they are veils, thin fabric woven of old stories. Tug once and light pours through. The universe itself knows no boundaries. Stars collapse and are born again. Rivers carve canyons through stone. Why then should you accept limits upon yourself, who is born of the same infinite source? Begin tonight by asking yourself, whose voice declared your limitation? Was it yours or another's fear? Trace its origin, and you will see it is borrowed, and what is borrowed can be returned. Whisper, I dissolve this myth. I walk in infinite possibility. The cage will crack, the chains will fall, and the horizon will expand until nothing is impossible. Chapter 6. Emotional Alchemy, Turning Feeling into Force. Thought plants the seed. Belief waters it. But emotion is the sunlight that gives it life. Without emotion, thought is a shadow. With emotion, it becomes a living force. Most people misunderstand their feelings. They see anger as poison, fear as weakness, grief as weight. They resist these states, pushing them away, never realizing that each emotion carries energy, raw, untamed, waiting to be transformed. This is emotional alchemy, the art of transmuting feeling into force. The story is told of Isolde, a woman of great sorrow. She had lost her family in famine, her village abandoned her, and her nights were drenched in tears. One evening, sitting by the dying embers of her fire, she whispered, "If sorrow has no purpose, then let it consume me. But if it has power, let it teach me." That night, her dreams carried her to a radiant figure, cloaked in light, who spoke, "Your grief is not your end. It is your fire. Direct it, and it will become strength." Isolde awoke changed. She began to pour her sorrow into song. Each melody carried the weight of her heart, and soon travelers from distant lands came to hear her voice. What was once unbearable grief became the source of her power, the very force that birthed her destiny. Your emotions are currents of energy. Fear can freeze you, or it can sharpen your focus. Anger can destroy, or it can fuel courage. Joy can dissipate in idle pleasure. or it can amplify creation. You are not a victim of your feelings. You are their alchemist. Begin your practice tonight. Before sleep, recall one emotion from your day. Do not judge it. Hold it as you would a glowing coal. Then breathe into it. Ask, what higher form can this take? Fear may transmute into wisdom, grief into compassion, anger into action. With each breath, imagine the coal changing color, shifting from dull ember to radiant gold. Feel this golden energy infuse your body, your mind, your dreams. Sleep within it and wake transformed. This is your hidden power. You need not wait for perfect joy to create. You can take the raw energy of any emotion, transmute it, and fuel your reality shift. For the alchemist knows, gold is not found, it is made. Chapter 7. The Signature Vibration of Self. Every being carries a soundless song, a hum beneath the noise of daily thought. This is your signature vibration, the unique frequency by which the universe knows you. It is not your name, nor your face, nor the story you've lived. It is the pure resonance of who you are beneath it all. Most walk unaware of their vibration. They live scattered, swayed by circumstance, echoing the fears of others, their frequency unstable. And so life reflects instability back to them. For the law is simple. Like attracts like. The vibration you carry shapes the reality you meet. There was once a man named Elias, known in his village as Cursed. Misfortune followed him. Crops failed, deals collapsed, storms struck his fields. He asked an old mystic why darkness clung to him. The mystic listened and then asked, "What feeling do you live with most?" Elias answered, "Fear." The mystic smiled gently. Then fear is the vibration you broadcast, and the world answers faithfully. Change your song, and life will change its dance. At first, Elias doubted, but that night, as he lay beneath the stars, he began humming softly. He thought not of fear, but of gratitude. The tune was simple, raw, yet it stirred warmth in his chest. Each night he repeated this ritual, letting his body remember joy, letting his heart hum with it. Within months, storms passed him by. His crops grew, his trade prospered. It was not magic, but alignment. Elias had changed his vibration, and the universe shifted in response. Your signature vibration is shaped by the emotions you live in most. Fear, doubt, shame lower your frequency, pulling experiences of heaviness. Joy, love, gratitude lift it, magnetizing experiences of light. You are not punished nor rewarded by fate. You are answered by resonance. Tonight, test this truth. Close your eyes and breathe. Ask yourself, what vibration am I sending? Notice your body. Does it feel heavy, tight, restless, or does it feel open, light, expansive? Do not judge. Just observe. Then choose. Choose a new vibration to carry, perhaps peace, perhaps abundance, perhaps joy. Breathe it in. Let it expand until every cell hums with it. Whisper, "This is my song, this is my vibration." Over time, this song becomes constant. You no longer chase circumstances, they chase you. For the world cannot resist the clarity of a steady vibration. When your frequency is set, reality harmonizes with you. You are not the echo of fear, nor the prisoner of fate. You are the tuning fork of creation, and the universe listens to your note. Remember this truth. Master your vibration, and you master your world. Chapter 8. Rewriting the Inner Script. Every day you live out a script written long before you chose it. A script of who you are, what you deserve, how far you can go. It whispers through your choices, it colors your voice, it guides your steps. Most never question it. They play their role faithfully, even if the story is one of struggle. But the script is not destiny. It is a draft, and drafts can be rewritten. Long ago, in a crowded city, there lived a woman named Mireille. From childhood, her mother told her, "You are plain, you will never be more than a servant." Mireille believed these lines. She worked in kitchens, cleaned homes, bowed her head in silence. Yet every night she dreamed of standing on stages, her voice carrying like thunder through halls. One evening, while cleaning, she discovered a torn page of a play. On it were words of power. I am more than you see. I am infinite. She whispered them, trembling. For the first time she spoke lines outside her script. She began collecting words. Each night before sleep, she rewrote herself. I am radiant. I am strong. I am worthy. At first it felt like fiction, but the subconscious does not care if a story is true or false. It only records. And soon her body carried new posture, her voice carried new strength. Years later, Mireille became known not as a servant, but as an actress who commanded the hearts of kings. She had rewritten the script of her life. You too carry a script. Some lines were given by parents, others by teachers, others by wounds long healed. They may sound like, I always fail, I'm not enough, success is for others. These are not truths, they are drafts. And you, the author, can change them. Begin the sacred practice tonight. Take a notebook, write 3 lines you know bind you still. See them clearly, then cross them out boldly, and beneath, write new ones. I am worthy of abundance. I am powerful beyond measure. I create with ease. Read these words aloud before sleep, as if performing a sacred play. Let them echo into your subconscious. Over days and weeks, your script will shift. Your behavior will follow. Your life will bend to match. For reality is the stage, and you are not the actor. You are the writer. Rewrite your lines, and the world will rewrite itself around you. Chapter 9. Belief Sculpting, Dissolving Hidden Chains. Beneath your thoughts lie deeper structures, invisible yet powerful, your beliefs. They are the hidden architects of your life. A belief is not a passing thought, but a framework, a law you have unconsciously accepted. Some empower you, others chain you silently. Until these chains are broken, no true shift can occur. There was once a boy named Tomas who grew up in a town that worshipped wealth, but his family was poor. His father always said, "Money is for others. People like us will always struggle." Tomas accepted this belief. As a man, he worked tirelessly, yet his efforts never bore fruit. Every time opportunity appeared, something sabotaged it. He thought it was bad luck, but in truth, it was his belief sculpting his life into scarcity. One night, after yet another failure, Tomas asked aloud, "Why?" A dream answered him. In the dream, he stood before a sculptor carving a statue. The sculptor said, "This figure is your life, but you have placed the chisel in my hand, not yours. Take it back." Tomas awoke knowing his belief had been the sculptor all along. He began questioning every thought. Is money truly for others, or is that just a chain I inherited? He replaced his father's words with new ones. Wealth is natural. I am worthy of it. Slowly the stone cracked. Opportunities flowed. His life reshaped itself as he carved with his own chisel. Your beliefs are chisels shaping stone. They may be ancient, passed down through generations, or recent, forged by disappointment, but none are unbreakable. The first step is awareness. Ask, what must I believe for my life to look this way? Trace your struggle back to the silent law behind it. Then ask, is this law true, or is it merely a chain? Once seen, a false belief weakens. Replace it deliberately. Speak the opposite until it feels real. At night, as you drift to sleep, whisper your new belief softly, letting it etch itself into your subconscious. I am loved. I am free. I am abundant. With time, the stone reshapes. The old figure crumbles, the chains dissolve, and you stand free, sculpting a life that finally reflects your deepest truth. Chapter 10. The Power of Sacred Visualization. In the quiet moments between thought and dream lies a secret doorway, a place where the unseen becomes visible, where the future is rehearsed in the mind before it arrives in the body. This doorway is sacred visualization, the art of seeing with the eyes of the soul. Many confuse visualization with idle daydreaming, but they are not the same. Daydreams flutter like butterflies, untethered, easily scattered by distraction. Visualization is deliberate. It is the conscious act of sculpting reality in the theater of your imagination until it begins to feel more real than the world around you. There lived a weaver named Celine who struggled to sell her cloth. Her designs were fine, her skill unmatched, yet no one came to her shop. One evening, despairing, she met a wise traveler who asked her, "Do you see your shop empty or full?" Celine answered, "Empty, as it has always been." The traveler nodded gently. "Then empty it will remain, for your vision creates your world. Close your eyes and see it differently." Celine tried. At first, she could only imagine faint figures in her shop, their outlines blurred, but night after night she practiced. She imagined the rustle of fabric as customers lifted her cloth, the glint of coins exchanged, the laughter of satisfied buyers. She breathed in the scent of dyed silk, felt the warmth of sunlight on her face as she worked, heard the chatter of a bustling crowd. Soon her vision became so vivid that she could feel it even with her eyes open. Within months, her reality caught up. The shop filled, her name spread, and her life blossomed. This is the law. Your mind cannot distinguish between what is vividly imagined and what is physically experienced. Both etch themselves into your subconscious, and once the subconscious accepts a vision, it bends reality to match. The practice is simple, yet sacred. Each evening before sleep, close your eyes. Choose one desire. Do not see it as distant. See it as now. Imagine every detail. Feel the texture beneath your fingers, smell the air, hear the sounds. Engage every sense until your body believes. Then, let gratitude flood your chest, as though it were already yours. Drift into sleep carrying this image, like a lantern, and let your subconscious illuminate the path. Sacred visualization is not pretending, it is programming. It is the rehearsal of reality until reality itself must respond. Remember, what you see inwardly, you will live outwardly. The canvas of existence awaits the brush of your inner eye. Chapter 11. The Law of Resonant Attraction. The universe is not a cold machine, indifferent to your existence. It is a vast symphony, vibrating with infinite frequencies. Every thought, every word, every emotion you hold sends out a note into this cosmic orchestra. And the law is simple. What resonates with your song is drawn to you. This is the law of resonant attraction. There was once a minstrel named Arion, who wandered from town to town, his lute always in hand. Yet no matter how he played, coins were few and doors often closed to him. One night, weary and cold, he sat by a river. He plucked his strings without care, filling the night with discord. As he did, a monk traveling nearby stopped and said, "Your strings play out of harmony with your heart, and so the world plays out of harmony with you. Tune your instrument, and life will tune itself." Arion listened. The monk showed him how to pluck gently, to breathe into each note, to align the sound of his music with the peace of his heart. From that day, whenever Arion played, his music carried a strange power. Listeners wept, laughed, or felt joy rise in their souls. Coins flowed, doors opened, and Arion became beloved. His world shifted because he shifted his resonance. Your life responds not to what you beg for, but to what you broadcast. If your dominant vibration is fear, you attract fearful experiences. If it is love, you attract loving ones. The universe answers resonance, not words. Begin by listening to your own inner instrument. What note hums beneath your thoughts each day? Desperation, hope, joy. Adjust it consciously. Speak aloud the feeling you wish to live in. I am abundance, I am peace, I am joy. Let this feeling spread through your chest until it radiates outward. The resonance you hold becomes a magnet. It draws people, circumstances, and opportunities that match. Not by force, not by struggle, but by natural law. Like two strings vibrating in harmony, the world aligns with your note. Tonight, as you drift into sleep, imagine yourself as a luminous tuning fork. See waves of golden energy radiating from your heart, filling the room, touching the stars. Whisper the feeling you most desire. I am love, I am wealth, I am freedom. Know that the universe will answer, not because you begged, but because resonance always attracts resonance. Chapter 12, The Observer's Lens. How Perception Shapes Outcome. The world you see is not the world as it is. It is the world as you perceive it. Your eyes do not show you truth. They show you interpretation, and your interpretation becomes your experience. This is the secret of the observer's lens. Two farmers lived side by side in a valley. One saw the storms that ravaged their fields as curses, proof that life was cruel. His crops withered, his spirit sank, and his land grew barren. The other farmer saw the same storms as blessings, watering seeds he had planted with care. His fields flourished, his heart was light, and prosperity followed. Same storm, different lens. Their worlds could not have been more different. Perception is not passive. It is creative. The way you choose to interpret what happens to you shapes the outcome that follows. Call a setback failure, and it becomes heavy, closing doors. Call it guidance, and it becomes a teacher, opening new paths. There was once a young scholar named Idris, who dreamed of becoming a philosopher. He presented his ideas in the city, but the elders mocked him. Crushed, he almost abandoned his dream. But an elder woman approached him and said, "The laughter you hear is not rejection. It is a mirror of their own ignorance. If you see it as proof of your weakness, it will defeat you. If you see it as proof of your strength to endure, it will empower you." Idris chose the latter. He refined his work, grew stronger, and eventually became revered. His greatness did not come from talent alone, but from the lens he chose to look through. Every day you hold a lens in your mind. It may be tinted by past wounds, by fear, by doubt, but you can change it. Tonight, recall one difficulty you face. Hold it gently in your mind. Now shift the lens. Ask, how might this be working for me, not against me? What seed of growth lies within this challenge? See it anew. With each shift of perception, you alter the outcome. Reality bends, not to the event itself, but to the meaning you assign it. The observer's lens is your hidden power. Change the way you see, and what you see will change. For reality does not exist outside of you. It unfolds through you, and the eyes you look through shape the world you walk in. Chapter 13, Parallel Timelines and the Path of Choice. Every moment stands at a crossroads. Before you stretch not one path, but many. Each choice you make branches into a timeline, a reality where your decision becomes truth. The future is not one road paved in certainty. It is a forest of endless trails, each alive, each waiting for your step. Yet most wander as if only one path exists. They say, "This is my fate, my only chance, my singular story." They do not see the doors shimmering all around them, waiting to be opened by the act of conscious choice. There was once a young healer named Marcellus. He longed to leave his village and study with sages in the mountains, but fear chained him. What if he failed? What if his village suffered without him? So he remained, repeating the same days, living in the same routine. One night he dreamed of two versions of himself. One stayed, aged, and died in the same small home. The other climbed the mountains, studied, and became a healer known across kingdoms. The dream whispered, "Both are real. Both exist." but only one will be chosen. Marcellus awoke trembling, understanding at last that his life was not a single script. It was a tapestry of possibilities. He chose the mountain, and from that day, his destiny unfolded not because of chance, but because he stepped onto a new path. Your life, too, is filled with parallel timelines. One where you embrace courage, another where you yield to fear. One where your dream is lived, another where it is postponed forever. All exist simultaneously in the quantum field, waiting for your claim. Choice is the key. Each time you decide, you collapse infinite possibilities into one lived reality. The question is not, what is possible? For all things are possible. The true question is, what will I choose? Tonight, as you rest, bring to mind a decision that weighs upon you. Close your eyes and imagine two doors, two paths. Walk through the first, see the life it brings. Walk through the second, see the difference. Notice which path carries light, which resonates with your heart. Then whisper, I choose. Feel the weight of that choice reverberate through your being. In that moment, the universe rearranges, timelines shift, doors align, and you step into the future you have claimed. Remember, fate is not written in stone. It is carved by your choices. And every choice is a bridge to a new reality. Chapter 14. The Art of Quantum Intention. Intention is the compass of your soul. It directs the currents of reality toward your desired shore. Yet intention is more than wishing. Wishing is weak. It floats like a feather on the wind, scattered by the smallest doubt. Intention is steel. It is deliberate, unwavering, carved into the quantum fabric of existence. In a bustling city lived a merchant named Althea. She longed for success but drifted aimlessly. One day she wished for wealth, the next for love, the next for escape. Her energy scattered like sparks on water, never catching flame. An old teacher observed her and said, "Your problem is not effort but clarity. You scatter your arrows in all directions. Choose one and the universe will conspire to bring it to you." Althea listened. She chose one clear intention: to create a thriving marketplace that uplifted her community. Each morning she declared it aloud, "I create prosperity that blesses all." She visualized it, felt it, embodied it. Her actions aligned, her focus sharpened, her vibration steadied. And soon her marketplace bloomed beyond her wildest imagination. This is the secret. The universe responds not to confusion, but to clarity. To intend is to decide, to declare, to plant a flag in the quantum field. The sacred practice is simple. Each night before you surrender to sleep, choose one intention. Hold it in your heart as though it is already true. Speak it aloud. It is done. Feel it resonate through your body. See it ripple outward like circles in a pond, touching everything. Do not chase it. Do not beg. Simply hold it steady, knowing the field has received its command. And as days pass, align your steps with it. Every choice, every action becomes fuel for your intention. Doubt may whisper, but it is powerless against the certainty of a focused heart. Know this: when intention is set with clarity and faith, reality has no choice but to yield. The quantum field bends not to scattered desire, but to unwavering intention. Chapter 15. Anchoring possibility into the present moment. The future is not some distant shore unreachable until years pass. It is alive, pulsing, waiting in the field of infinite possibility. Yet the only place you can touch it, the only place you can anchor it, is here, now, in this breath, in this moment. Too often, people live in waiting. Someday I will be successful. Someday I will be happy. Someday I will be free. Someday never comes, for it is always imagined, never claimed. The future is not a promise. It is potential. It becomes real only when you bring its vibration into the present. There was once a clockmaker named Joran. He dreamed of wealth and peace, But every day he sighed, "One day when fortune smiles, I will rest." Years passed, fortune never came, and Joran grew weary, until one evening an elder visited his shop and said, "Do not wait for peace. Become peace now, and fortune will follow." That night Joran shifted. Instead of longing, he began to live as though his dream had already arrived. He walked with gratitude. He worked with joy. He treated each coin as abundance, each customer as prosperity. Within months, his shop thrived. His fortune grew, but more importantly, his heart was already at peace. He had anchored the future into the present. This is the path, to embody the energy of what you seek now, not later. If you long for love, radiate love today. If you seek wealth, feel abundant in this breath. If you crave freedom, act as though you are already free. By doing so, you collapse the distance between dream and reality. Practice tonight. As you lie in bed, call forth the version of yourself who already lives your desire. Ask, how do they walk? How do they speak? How do they feel? Now embody them. Let their vibration merge with yours until no separation exists. Sleep as the future self you wish to become. When you awaken, live as them. Carry their posture, their gratitude, their certainty. For when you embody possibility now, it ceases to be possibility. It becomes reality. Remember, the key to transformation is not waiting for someday. It is choosing today. Anchor your dreams into the present moment, and life will rearrange to match your choice. Chapter 16. The Daily Reality Reset. Each dawn is a rebirth, yet most rise as though chained to the remnants of yesterday. They carry forward the weight of old mistakes, old fears, and old identities, dragging yesterday's story into today's stage. But reality is fluid, never fixed, and with each sunrise the universe offers a gift, the chance to reset. There was once a scribe named Halimar who felt doomed to mediocrity. Every day he copied manuscripts for noble families, his ink-stained fingers moving without joy. He dreamed of becoming an author himself, yet whenever he picked up the quill for his own words, doubt whispered, "It is too late. You are a copier, not a creator." And so each day mirrored the last, a cycle of quiet despair. One morning, as the bells tolled across the city, Halimar met a monk who said, "Every day is not a continuation. It is an empty scroll. The question is, what will you write today?" These words burned in him. That night before sleep he whispered, "I release the story of yesterday. Tomorrow I awaken new." The next morning Halimar rose differently. He touched his quill with reverence and wrote the first line of his own book. Each day he repeated the ritual, letting go of yesterday, setting intention for today. Slowly his story shifted. He became known not as a copier, but as a writer whose words stirred kingdoms. This is the power of the daily reset. Reality is not a continuous chain unless you choose to carry its links. Each morning you may cut the chain and step into a new possibility. Practice this tonight. Before sleep, whisper, "I release today. I release all that no longer serves me. I awaken new." See yourself laying down a heavy cloak, stepping lighter. Then, as you awaken, declare, "This day is a blank canvas. I choose my story now." Your life is not bound by yesterday's mistakes or triumphs. Every dawn is a door, every breath a chance to begin again. The past is memory, the future is possibility, but the present is power. Reset daily, and you become the master author of your reality. Chapter 17. The Gateway of Sleep Programming. When the conscious mind grows quiet and the body surrenders to rest, a hidden doorway opens. It is the threshold between waking and dreaming, the liminal realm where the subconscious is most alive, most receptive, most open to new codes. This is the gateway of sleep programming, a sacred portal where you may plant seeds that bloom into reality. There lived a baker named Imara, whose days were filled with worry. She feared her debts, feared her failing shop, feared the whispers of neighbors. Each night she carried these fears into her sleep, and each morning they returned stronger, feeding upon themselves. Until one evening she overheard a traveler speak. The last thoughts before sleep are the architects of tomorrow. Imara paused. Could it be that her nightly fears were programming her misery? That night, instead of replaying her troubles, she whispered, "I am abundant. I am safe. My shop thrives." Though her body trembled with disbelief, she persisted. Each evening she chose gratitude and vision instead of fear. Within months, customers returned, debts faded, and her life transformed. The subconscious does not argue. It accepts whatever impression you give it before sleep. In those final moments when your brain drifts into theta waves, the gate opens. What you repeat then becomes law to the deeper mind, and the deeper mind creates your waking life. The practice is ancient. Each night, create a ritual. Sit quietly. Speak 3 truths of gratitude. Then speak 3 affirmations of the future as though already real. Whisper them gently, feeling them sink deep into your chest. As you lie down, imagine your desires as seeds planted in fertile soil. See them glowing, radiating light through your dreamscape. Do this faithfully, and your dreams will weave your reality. For the night is not an end, but a workshop, and sleep is not rest alone, it is creation. Step through the gateway with intention, and you will awaken into the reality you have programmed. Chapter 18. The Frequency of Gratitude and Expansion. There is a frequency that lifts all things higher, a vibration that dissolves doubt and amplifies manifestation more than any other. It is gratitude, the silent song of thankfulness that expands whatever it touches. Gratitude is not mere politeness, not simply saying thank you. It is the recognition that life is already full, already abundant, already flowing in your favor. A farmer named Soren once lived in bitterness. His harvests were small, his family struggled, and he cursed the skies daily. "Why is life against me?" he would shout. An old wanderer passing by heard him and said, "The soil does not hate you. It mirrors you. Give it gratitude, and it will return abundance." Soren scoffed, but that night he decided to try. As he looked at his meager field, he whispered, "Thank you for the grain I do have. Thank you for the rain that will come. Thank you for the life still within me." At first, the words felt hollow, but each evening he repeated them, and something shifted. His heart grew lighter, his spirit stronger. Soon his crops flourished, his family laughed, his fortune turned. It was not luck, it was resonance. Gratitude expands whatever it touches. When you give thanks for little, it multiplies. When you complain about lack, it contracts. The universe listens not to your words alone, but to your vibration. Gratitude broadcasts abundance, and abundance answers. Begin tonight. Before sleep, recall 3 moments from your day that stirred warmth. Perhaps the smile of a stranger, the taste of bread, the sound of rain. Hold them gently in your heart. Let gratitude swell until it fills your body like golden light. Whisper, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." Drift into sleep bathed in this vibration. Gratitude is the key that opens the door to expansion. It aligns your vibration with abundance, erasing the illusion of lack. It is not about waiting for blessings. It is about seeing blessings now. And as you do, they multiply. The world reshapes itself for those who live in gratitude, for they carry the frequency of expansion. And when you dwell in expansion, nothing remains impossible. Chapter 19. Voice, Sound, and Vibration as Reality Tools. The universe was born not in silence, but in sound. The ancient texts whisper that creation began with a word, a tone, a vibration that rippled outward, giving shape to stars and oceans, to earth and sky. If existence itself began with sound, then your voice, your vibration, is not small. It is sacred, powerful, creative. There was once a clockmaker named Aurelia who spoke harshly to herself. Whenever her craft faltered, she would mutter, "I am clumsy, I am cursed, I am destined to fail." These words seemed harmless, yet her life mirrored them faithfully. Customers left dissatisfied, gears slipped from her hands, fortune eluded her. One day an old singer came into her shop and said, "Your voice shapes your fate. Each word you speak is a spell. Change the song, and life will change its dance." That night Aurelia sat by candlelight and whispered new phrases. "I am precise. I am blessed. My hands are steady." At first they felt untrue, like borrowed clothes that did not fit. But she persisted, morning after morning, night after night. Slowly her speech changed, her posture shifted, her work refined. In time her clocks became legendary, treasures sought by nobles and kings. She discovered what mystics have always known: vibration is the blueprint of reality. Your body is an instrument. Every word, every sound you release vibrates through your cells, into your subconscious, and outward into the field of existence. Words of fear lower your resonance, pulling struggle toward you. Words of power lift your vibration, drawing harmony and success. Even whispers matter, even thoughts left unspoken hum within you, tuning your life accordingly. The sacred practice is simple. Choose 3 phrases that reflect the life you desire. Speak them aloud each day with conviction, as though they were already true. Let your chest vibrate with their sound. Then, as you lie down at night, allow your words to become a lullaby that programs your subconscious. And know this: it is not the volume of your words, but the vibration behind them that creates. Speak with alignment, and the universe must respond. For reality itself is an echo of sound, and you are the singer shaping its song. Chapter 20. The Mirror Ritual, Reflecting the Future Self. There is a place where truth cannot hide, where illusion dissolves, and where the deepest stories of self are revealed. That place is not in temples or mountains, but in the simple mirror. When you stand before your reflection, you confront the image you have accepted as you. And yet the mirror does not only reveal, it also reflects the future self you choose to embody. A young woman named Isolde once hated her reflection. Each morning she gazed into the glass only to see failure, imperfection, limitation. Her eyes could not meet her own, for they carried the weight of shame. One evening, as the sun dipped below the hills, her grandmother told her, "The mirror does not show who you are. It shows who you believe yourself to be. Change your belief, and the reflection will change as well." That night, Isolde lit a single candle and faced the mirror in silence. Instead of seeing flaws, she whispered, "You are strong. You are worthy. You are becoming." At first, her voice trembled. Her mind resisted. Yet each night she repeated the ritual, gazing deeper, speaking kinder. Over time, her reflection changed, not in face, but in presence. Her eyes shone with strength, her posture lifted, her life transformed. She became the woman she once only dared to whisper about. The mirror is a powerful tool because it bypasses pretense. When you speak to your reflection, your subconscious listens more deeply. It hears not just words, but conviction, embodied in your own eyes. The practice is sacred. Each evening, light a candle, stand before the mirror, look into your eyes, those gateways to your soul, and speak 3 affirmations of the self you are becoming. Say them not as wish, but as truth. I am radiant, I am abundant, I am free. Watch your reflection receive them. Feel the energy anchor within you. Then, as you drift into sleep, carry the image of this future self in your mind. The subconscious will accept it, and soon your waking life will follow. Remember, the mirror is not a reminder of who you have been. It is a portal to who you are becoming. Gaze deeply, speak boldly, and watch reality align to the reflection of your chosen self. Chapter 21. Dreamscaping. Designing Nighttime Realities. When the body surrenders to sleep and the conscious mind falls silent, you enter the vast realm of dreams. Most wander through this realm passively, tossed by strange images and symbols they barely recall upon waking. But to those who remember the secret, dreams are not chaos. They are clay. They are the canvas upon which reality can be designed. This is dreamscaping, the art of shaping the dream world to create the waking one. There was a scholar named Leontius who suffered from paralyzing fear of public speaking. Each time he addressed a crowd, his voice faltered. His hands shook, his words dissolved. Desperate, he sought guidance from a mystic who told him, "Practice in the realm where all is possible, your dreams. There you can become who you wish, and in time, the waking world will follow." Leontius tried. Each night before sleep he whispered, "Tonight I speak with confidence." Soon he found himself in dreams where he stood before vast audiences, his voice steady, his presence strong. Though at first the visions slipped away, with persistence they became vivid. He practiced nightly in these dreamscapes until one day, when he awoke and faced a real audience, he discovered his fear had vanished. His dreams had rehearsed his destiny. The brain cannot tell the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. Both carve neural pathways, both program the subconscious. This is why dreamscaping is so powerful. In the dream world, you bypass doubt, you bypass fear, and you embody your desired reality directly. The practice is simple but sacred. Each night before sleep, hold a clear vision of what you wish to practice or embody. Whisper an affirmation of lucidity. "I am aware, I am dreaming." As you drift, imagine yourself stepping into a dream where your desire is already real. Feel it fully. See, hear, touch, live it. Even if you do not remember the dream, your subconscious records the experience, weaving it into your waking reality. Over time, your dreams become a workshop, a rehearsal hall, a temple of creation. You sculpt them deliberately, and they sculpt your life in return. Remember, you are not a passive dreamer. You are the architect of both the dream world and the waking world. Dream with intention, and your days will mirror the nights you design. Chapter 22. The Circle of Infinite Possibilities. All around you, unseen but ever present, stretches a circle. Not of stone or fire, but of possibility. Within this circle, infinite futures exist, waiting like unopened books on an endless shelf. The life you know is but one story you chose to read, one path you happen to walk. Yet the circle contains them all, triumph and despair, wealth and poverty, love and loneliness. And the most astonishing truth is this: you can step into any of them at will. There was once a sailor named Dorian who believed his life was cursed. Storms always seemed to chase his vessel, fortunes always slipped through his fingers, and his heart grew heavy with the conviction that fate had chosen him for misery. One night, stranded on a deserted shore after yet another wreck, he met a hermit who lived in a cave carved by the sea. The hermit told him, "Fate is not a chain, it is a circle. You are standing in one part, but you may step into another. Close your eyes and choose again." That night, Dorian did as the hermit instructed. He imagined himself not as cursed, but as blessed. He envisioned seas parting for him, ships arriving safely, traders welcoming him as a man of luck. At first it felt like fantasy, but as days passed, Dorian carried this vision in his chest. He began to walk with certainty, speak with faith, and act with confidence. Slowly, storms ceased to hound him. Fortune turned in his favor. His circle had not changed. He had simply stepped into a different part of it. The circle of infinite possibilities is the quantum truth of existence. Every version of you already exists. The one who succeeds, the one who fails, the one who loves, the one who despairs. By choosing your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions, you align with one of these versions. You are not creating from nothing. You are tuning yourself to a frequency already present within the circle. Tonight, sit quietly. Imagine yourself standing in the center of a vast circle, glowing with light. Around you stretch countless doorways, each leading to a different version of your life. See them shimmer, some bright, some shadowed, some radiant with the future you most desire. Step toward one. Enter it with your mind. Feel yourself living it, see it, breathe it, inhabit it. Then declare, "This is my reality, I claim it." When you awaken, carry this choice with you. Walk as though you have already stepped into that doorway, and soon the outer world will rearrange to match the version you have chosen. For the truth is simple. Life is not a straight road. It is a circle of endless paths, and you, the traveler, decide which story to walk. Chapter 23. Synchronizing with Universal Timing. The universe does not move in haste. It moves in rhythm, in perfect measure, like a grand symphony unfolding note by note. Stars are not born in seconds, rivers do not carve valleys in a day, and trees do not bear fruit overnight. All things manifest in harmony with universal timing, yet humanity often forgets this. We demand results instantly, cursing the soil when seeds do not sprout the very day they are planted. But to master reality, you must learn to dance with time, to trust in the unfolding of the cosmic rhythm. There was once a potter named Nerea who grew frustrated with her craft. Each time she shaped clay, she rushed the process. She fired pots before they had dried, painted them before the glaze was ready, and every vessel cracked in her hands. She wept, believing she was cursed with failure. Then an elder potter came to her and said, "The clay does not hate you. You fight against its timing. Listen to it, and it will teach you." Nerea began to watch more carefully. She noticed how the clay grew firm only when it was ready, how the fire baked gently when given patience, how the glaze shimmered only when applied at the proper moment. She surrendered her urgency and moved in rhythm with the process. Soon her pots became masterpieces valued across kingdoms. She realized the truth. The universe was never denying her. It was asking her to wait for the right moment. Your desires, too, ripen in their own time. The dream you plant is like a seed. It requires soil, water, sunlight, and patience. If you dig it up too soon to check its progress, you destroy it. Trust that the unseen roots are growing, even when nothing appears above the ground. The practice is this: when impatience rises, close your eyes and imagine your desire as a seed. See its roots reaching deep into dark soil. Whisper, "I trust the timing, I trust the unfolding." Then release your grip. Live in joy, live in gratitude, live in faith. For when you align with universal timing, manifestation becomes effortless. The fruit arrives not in struggle, but in season, and when it comes, it is sweeter than you imagined. Chapter 24. Collapse of Doubt, the Final Barrier. You may practice visualization, set intentions, rewrite beliefs, and align your vibration. Yet if doubt remains lodged in your heart, it will corrode your creation like rust on iron. Doubt is the final barrier, the unseen thief that steals manifestation before it arrives. It whispers, "What if it fails? What if you are unworthy? What if it is impossible?" And the subconscious, obedient as ever, listens. There was a merchant named Cassian who longed to open a grand marketplace. He planned, he dreamed, he affirmed, yet his plans always collapsed. One night, weary and broken, he asked a sage, "Why does nothing work for me?" The sage answered, "Because you build with one hand and destroy with the other. By day you affirm your dream, by night you doubt it. Your house cannot stand when you tear down the walls as you build them." Cassian understood. He began a new ritual. Each time doubt whispered, he did not argue with it. Instead, he closed his eyes, placed his hand on his chest, and said, "I release this voice. I trust the process." He replaced doubt with faith, fear with gratitude, hesitation with certainty. At first, the whispers fought harder, but slowly they faded and confidence grew. In time, his marketplace stood, a living monument to the collapse of doubt. Your doubts are not truth. They are echoes of old wounds, old failures, old voices. They are not prophecies, they are memories. And memories need not bind the future. The practice is sacred. Each evening, recall the doubts that linger. Write them down on a piece of paper. Then, by candlelight, speak aloud. These are no longer mine. Burn the paper safely, watching the smoke rise like shadows dissolving into night. Then replace them. Speak 3 truths of certainty. I am capable. I am guided. I am worthy. Let these words echo louder than any doubt. In time, faith will become your natural state. And when doubt collapses, nothing stands in your way. Reality bends fully to your command, for you are no longer divided within. Remember this, the final barrier is not the world. It is your own disbelief. Remove it, and the infinite opens before you. Chapter 25. Meeting the Future You. Time is not a straight line, though we are taught to see it that way. It is a spiral, a living field where past, present, and future all exist together, and in that vastness there is a version of you who has already become everything you desire to be. This version is not a fantasy, it is real, alive, waiting for you to meet them. A woman named Callista once struggled with endless failure. Every venture she began collapsed, every dream dissolved in her hands. She believed herself cursed until one evening, while wandering through a quiet meadow, she encountered a dream so vivid it felt more real than waking. She saw herself, radiant and confident, standing before her. This future, Callista spoke gently. I have already walked where you are walking. I have already overcome what you now face. All you must do is trust me and follow. When Callista awoke, she carried the memory like a lantern, and slowly her life began to shift. The truth is this: the version of you who has already succeeded exists now beyond the veil of linear time. By aligning with this future self, you collapse the distance between who you are and who you wish to be. The practice is sacred. Each night before you surrender to sleep, close your eyes and imagine a corridor of golden light stretching before you. At the end, see your future self waiting, calm, confident, radiant. Approach them. Notice how they stand, how they breathe, how they look at you. Ask them 3 questions. What must I release? What must I embrace? What is my next step? Then listen, not with your ears, but with your heart. The answers may come as words, feelings, or visions. Trust them. When you awaken, carry this presence with you. Walk as they walk, speak as they speak, act with their certainty. For in truth, they are not separate from you. They are you, already accomplished, already alive. Meeting your future self is not imagining, it is remembering. You are collapsing the spiral of time, merging with the version of you who has already succeeded, and once you merge, nothing can keep you from becoming. Chapter 26. The Collective Dreamfield of Humanity. Each night as you sleep, your dreams do not remain isolated within the borders of your mind. They merge with something greater, something vast and timeless. The collective dream field of humanity. This dream field is like an ocean, woven of every thought, every desire, every fear ever carried by human hearts. And whether you know it or not, you are always swimming in it. In a mountain village lived a teacher named Lyra. She noticed that whenever she felt despair, her students reflected it. Whenever she radiated joy, her classroom blossomed. One evening she dreamt of standing in a vast field of stars, each star a soul, each shining brighter when another shone. A voice whispered, "You are never alone. Every thought you carry touches the whole." She awoke, understanding that her consciousness was not hers alone, but part of a great collective. Your mind is a wave, but the ocean is shared. This is why inspiration spreads suddenly across the world, why discoveries appear in different lands at once, why movements rise together as if guided by unseen hands. The collective dream field is a shared tapestry, and every thought you contribute is a thread. The practice is simple yet profound. Each night before you sleep, sit quietly and expand your awareness beyond your body. Imagine your consciousness glowing like a golden light. See it reaching outward, merging with countless others across the globe. Whisper blessings. May my dreams uplift humanity. May my vision strengthen the collective. May love ripple outward through the field. As you drift into sleep, trust that your intentions join the dream of humanity itself. And know this, the collective dream field is not only influenced by you, it influences you. If despair weighs heavy in the world, it may touch your mind, but you need not accept it. Each morning, cleanse yourself by declaring, "I choose my vibration. I choose to rise above the noise." When you recognize the dream field, you awaken to your responsibility. You are not just dreaming for yourself, you are dreaming for all. And when you elevate your vibration, you elevate the world. Chapter 27. Reconstructing the Past to Free the Now. The past is not stone, though we are taught to believe it unchangeable. It is water, fluid, shifting, altered by the meaning we give it. The events may remain, but their weight, their story, their power over us can be transformed. To reconstruct the past is to free yourself in the present, to release the chains of memory that keep you bound. There was once a man named Hadrian who carried bitterness like a heavy cloak. As a child, his father abandoned him, and every day since, he whispered, "I am unwanted. I am broken." This belief shaped his life. He sabotaged relationships, rejected opportunities, lived in shadows. One night he dreamt of himself as a boy standing by a river. In the dream, he walked to his younger self, knelt, and said, "You are not abandoned. You are loved. You are whole." He embraced the boy, and the boy's tears became laughter. When Hadrian awoke, something had shifted. The memory of his father leaving still existed, but its meaning had changed. No longer did it prove his unworthiness. It revealed his strength, his independence, his power to love himself. From that day, his life transformed. This is the art of reconstructing the past. You cannot erase what has happened, but you can rewrite the script you carry. Memory is not truth, it is interpretation. And interpretation can change. The practice is sacred. Each night call forth one memory that still binds you. See it clearly, feel it fully, but do not turn away. Then, in your mind's eye, enter the memory as your present self. Speak to your younger self. Offer the words they needed then but never heard. Hold them, comfort them, tell them the truth. You are safe, you are worthy, you are loved. Imagine the memory glowing with golden light, its pain dissolving, its lesson revealed. As you drift to sleep, carry this revised memory with you. Let your subconscious weave it deeper until it replaces the old script. When you awaken, you will find yourself lighter, freer, unshackled from the chains of what was. Reconstructing the past is not denial, it is transformation. For the past lives only in your mind, and your mind is malleable. Change the meaning and you change the weight. Free the past and the present becomes your own. Chapter 28. The Gratitude Amplification Chamber. Gratitude is more than a feeling, it is a frequency, a living current that amplifies everything it touches. To dwell in gratitude is to step into a chamber where the smallest blessings grow radiant and the seeds of your desires multiply into forests of abundance. Yet most dismiss gratitude as something small, a polite habit, a soft whisper at the end of the day. They do not see it for what it truly is, the key that magnifies creation itself. There was once a woman named Elowen who lived in poverty. Her home was bare, her cupboards often empty, and her heart heavy with despair. She prayed for change, begged for opportunity, but her life remained unchanged. One night an elder knocked on her door, carrying nothing but a single apple. He placed it in her hand and said, "This is the seed of your fortune. If you give thanks for this apple as though it were a feast, the universe will respond with a banquet." Skeptical yet desperate, Elowen tried. She held the apple and whispered, "Thank you for this gift, for its sweetness, for the hands that grew it, for the nourishment it will bring." Something shifted in her chest. The next day she found a loaf of bread left at her door. Again she whispered thanks, not for what she lacked, but for what she had. In time, food, friends, and opportunities flowed to her. Gratitude had opened the chamber of amplification. The truth is simple. Whatever you give thanks for expands. Gratitude is not passive, it is magnetic. It broadcasts abundance, and the universe responds with more. When you focus on lack, you amplify emptiness. When you focus on blessings, you amplify wealth. The practice is sacred. Each night before sleep, recall 3 blessings from your day. They need not be grand. The warmth of sunlight, the sound of laughter, the quiet of your breath. Feel gratitude swell in your chest, expanding outward until it fills your body with golden light. Whisper, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." Let this vibration carry you into sleep, where your subconscious will multiply it like seeds in fertile soil. When you awaken, begin again. Speak thanks aloud for the bed beneath you, the air in your lungs, the day awaiting you. Gratitude is not an event, it is a state. Live within it, and life becomes a chamber of amplification where every blessing multiplies. Remember, wealth is not measured by possession, but by perception. And those who live in gratitude live in endless abundance. Chapter 29. The Infinite Possibility Portal. Beyond the walls of belief, beyond the illusions of limitation, there lies a portal. It is not a gate of stone or iron, but of awareness, opening each time you release the boundaries of what you think is possible. This is the Infinite Possibility Portal, the threshold where all realities converge. A fisherman named Thalos once lived bound by the tides. He believed his world extended no further than the horizon he could see. "This is life," he said, "the sea, the nets, the fish, and nothing more." One night he dreamed of walking through a shimmering archway of light. Beyond it lay vast lands he had never imagined. Gardens, cities, wonders. When he awoke, he could not shake the vision. For the first time he questioned the limits of his life. Weeks later, he dared to sail beyond the horizon. He discovered new lands, new opportunities, and a destiny far greater than the nets of his past. The portal is always there, waiting for you to step through. But it opens only when you release the belief that life is limited. The boundaries you perceive are not real. They are constructs of the mind, fences built from old stories, old fears, old voices. Beyond them lies infinity. To enter the portal, you must shift your state of being. Begin by asking, what would I do if nothing were impossible? Who would I become if I believed in infinite possibility? Let the answers rise, even if they feel wild, even if they defy logic. These answers are the whispers of the portal. Each night before sleep, imagine standing before a radiant gateway. On one side is the life you know, safe yet limited. On the other side is infinite possibility, shimmering with colors you have never seen. Step through in your mind. See yourself living beyond fear, beyond restriction, beyond the smallness of old stories. Feel the exhilaration of freedom as you walk into this expanded realm. Then, as you drift into dreams, let your subconscious carry you deeper into this infinite field. In waking life, begin to act from this space. Say yes where you once said no. Dare where you once hesitated. Each step reinforces the truth. The portal was never outside of you. It was always within. The infinite is not distant. It is here now, waiting for your permission. Walk through the portal and you will see that life is not limited at all. It is boundless, infinite, waiting for you to claim it. Chapter 30. Graduation of the Reality Shifter. There comes a moment when the seeker becomes the master, when the student of possibility becomes the creator of reality. This is the graduation of the reality shifter, the moment when you no longer practice in fragments, but live as the embodiment of truth. You are no longer someone trying to shift reality. You are reality, shifting through you. A woman named Sabine once studied with great teachers. She practiced visualization, affirmed new beliefs, rewrote her past, met her future self, and sculpted her dreams with care. Yet she always felt as though she were striving, climbing, reaching. One day her teacher said, "Sabine, you have gathered all the tools. Now release them. Stop trying to create. Realize you are the creator." That night, Sabine lay beneath the stars and understood. The practices had been stepping stones, but the river was always her own. She was not separate from the quantum field. She was the field. She was not begging reality to change. She was reality, changing itself. From that moment, life flowed with ease. Creation no longer felt like effort, but like breathing. She had graduated into mastery. Graduation is not the end of practice. It is the integration of practice into being. It is when gratitude is not something you do, but something you are. When visualization is not a ritual, but your natural way of seeing. When faith is not forced, but woven into your breath. The practice for you now is simple. Live it. Walk as the dreamer who knows they are also the dream. Speak as the creator who knows their words shape worlds. Rest as the consciousness through which infinite realities flow. Each night, no longer plead with the universe, but thank it. No longer imagine yourself becoming, but recognize you already are. Whisper as you close your eyes, "I am the dreamer. I am the dream. I am the field." Let this truth carry you into sleep. For the graduation of the reality shifter is not marked by a ceremony or crown. It is marked by a shift in identity. You no longer see yourself as limited, reaching, striving. You see yourself as infinite, already complete, already creating. This is the true mastery, to live as the field itself, shaping and being shaped, knowing that impossibility was never real. The journey was never about becoming something else. It was about remembering who you already are. And so you graduate not into endings, but into eternal creation. You are the reality shifter. You are the master. You are the infinite, awake within the dream.